Not everyone who earns respect is the loudest person in the room. In fact, some of the most respected individuals barely say anything at all. Have you ever noticed how two people can enter the same meeting, classroom, or social gathering and receive completely different reactions? One person immediately captures attention. Others naturally listen when they speak. The second person struggles to be heard, gets talked over, or finds their opinions dismissed. Most people assume respect comes from status, appearance, or experience. Those things can help, but they aren't what creates an immediate impression. Long before anyone evaluates your achievements, they're evaluating your behavior. And that judgment happens faster than most people realize. The good news is that respect isn't some mysterious quality you're born with. Certain habits quietly signal confidence, self-worth, and authority. When practiced consistently, they change how people respond to you. The first habit is learning to value your words. Many people feel the need to contribute constantly. They explain every decision, justify every opinion, and fill every silence with extra information. Ironically, this often weakens their impact. Think about a movie trailer. It doesn't reveal every scene, it gives just enough to keep your attention. Communication works the same way. When every thought is immediately spoken, your words lose weight. When you take a moment to think before responding, people pay closer attention because they sense intention behind what you're saying. Instead of trying to convince everyone of your value, allow your ideas to stand on their own. A concise statement often carries more influence than a lengthy explanation. The second habit is becoming comfortable with quiet moments. Most people rush to eliminate silence. They answer too quickly, laugh nervously, or continue talking long after they've made their point. But silence has a strange psychological effect. It creates space. When someone asks a question, a brief pause suggests thoughtfulness rather than uncertainty. When someone interrupts, calmly waiting before continuing communicates composure rather than defensiveness. People who are secure in themselves don't feel compelled to fill every empty second. They understand that presence isn't measured by how much noise they create. Sometimes the strongest statement in a conversation is the one that comes after a deliberate pause. The third habit is protecting your boundaries. People often confuse kindness with unlimited availability. They agree to requests they don't want to fulfill, they tolerate behavior they dislike, they constantly rearrange their priorities to satisfy others. Over time, this sends an unintended message. My needs come after everyone else's. Respect rarely grows in that environment. People tend to value what has limits. Your time, energy, and attention are no exception. This doesn't mean becoming rude or confrontational. It means being willing to say, that doesn't work for me, or I need time to think about it. A simple, calm refusal often earns more respect than a reluctant agreement. The fourth habit is aligning your body language with confidence. Before anyone hears your voice, they're already reading signals from your posture, movements, and facial expressions. Someone who constantly fidgets, avoids eye contact, or rushes through every movement often appears uncertain, even when they're highly capable. On the other hand, steady movements communicate control. Standing upright communicates self-respect. Comfortable eye contact communicates engagement and confidence. Imagine a tree during a storm. The strongest one isn't the one thrashing wildly in the wind. It's the one that remains grounded. People respond similarly to emotional steadiness. At its core, respect begins with the way you treat yourself. Many people spend years trying to win approval from everyone around them. Yet approval and respect are not the same thing. Approval comes from pleasing others. Respect comes from demonstrating that you have standards, confidence, and self-worth. When you stop making other people's validation your primary goal, something interesting happens. You become more authentic. You speak more intentionally. You set healthier boundaries. And people begin responding to you differently. Not because you've demanded respect, but because your behavior quietly communicates that you already respect yourself. If you enjoyed this psychology insight, stay tuned for more. The next lesson may reveal another hidden principle that shapes how people perceive you every day.